have you, as a business owner or an entrepreneur, how have you pivoted during this time? So, Chuck, have you seen any innovation? Have you heard about anybody doing something different that they haven't done yet?
Well, obviously, you see how restaurants during this time, they're changing out their whole model of how they do business, and everything from the way they maybe prepare the food, if they've had to kick up the way that they think about it for this context, and have a delivery service. They've never done drive up and delivery and carry out before, but now they do it if they want to be in business.
Yeah.
So how do you adapt? How do you overcome?
Yeah.
So obviously for businesses that have been primarily online, maybe you could be a leader in that area because you have experience. So think about what you're good at, because people still need what you're good at, even if the delivery looks different.
Yeah, I've heard a business guy who was working from home, and he said, I have been able to get on so many Zoom calls and teach these industries how to run their business. And so we don't think about, these skills that we have until we take that time. But a crisis shuts us down. Like that frontal lobe is where that frontal cortex is where we have our higher mental processes, that reasoning. And when we get in a crisis, we aren't thinking like that. So it's been a couple of weeks. We're settling back into it. And let's not just try to do the same thing, but let's see how we can innovate, how we can, optimize our productivity during this time. So a business that I heard that happened the other day was someone who was a magician, and he is doing virtual parties where he does a magic show. And so think about the promise there, right? Because we just had a birthday party in our family, and I'm like racking my brain. Like we did do like a FaceTime, family FaceTime, but like, what could we do? What could we do? It's so hard to do stuff. And you've seen a few things on the news, but a virtual party where you have, a magician, that's so creative. That's pivoting. So let's not, as business owners, be paralyzed, but let's think about how we can innovate. And I know some jobs you can't do the exact same thing, but are there ways you can pivot? Definitely, we all feel like staying in bed someday because it's hard, it's depressing, it's discouraging, and we just get tired of trying to, think outside the box. But give yourself a nap, give a little pity party, talk to someone if you have to, but then get back to work, because the world is still out here. It's still going on, and we need each other. And so we want to encourage you. You can do it. You can innovate, and we're interested in hearing about it. How are you pivoting? How are you, innovating during this time?
What are you starting? What are you creating? You know what? You could be starting or creating something that is actually more profitable, more interesting, and it's a new portion of your business and something you provide when this time in the world is over, and things could be even better.
I did have a silly thing I forgot about. So I had a Zoom call earlier, and I really wanted to walk. So propped up our, what is it called?
The tripod.
The tripod in the stroller, and I was pushing it. So he had to take a picture because it's just so silly. But I wanted to walk, and I didn't want to just sit there, and it didn't work perfectly because, it was kind of bouncing. But I thought,
Maybe we'll include that photo for you.
Oh, yeah. But we try to innovate, right? And so you're like, this is the next invention. If we're having to Zoom, people are going to continue to innovate. I'm not sure that that's going to be the next big thing.
Maybe not take off.
But it's an example of, desperation leads to innovation. So I want to hear your ideas. Yeah, you've got some great ones I know. So
what can you do different?
Have a good one.